Hello Star Wars YouTube fans, thank you for visiting my channel today, Johnny Star Wars. If you are new here today, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date for future Star Wars content. If you are an existing subscriber, many thanks for subscribing and many thanks for watching today. So got a video today for you of the reissue of the Gamorrean Guard. So this was VC21. This figure originally came out in 2010 and I did miss it the first time round, so consequently I was quite pleased to see this figure reissued as part of the vintage collection. It's been a bit of a saga trying to get this figure, so I don't know about the vintage collection. I think it should be called the saga collection. I pre-ordered this figure and paid for it way back in February, and it's only fairly recently actually turned up. I had to cancel my order with the retailer that I placed my pre-order with. I'm not going to name any names, but I think a lot of people probably know who they are. Disappointed. I didn't have any communication from them. Kept seeing stuff on their website that they got this in and was stocking it and seemed to be selling it, but never seemed to be able to fulfill my order. So I cancelled my order with them and managed to pick this up from another online retailer. So a bit disappointed there, but hey ho, life is life. So on we go. So I missed this figure the first time around, so I was quite pleased to pick this one up. I will be opening this up as I am a loose figure collector, although I do collect card backs as well, so I'll be keeping the card back. It's slightly different to the original card back. The image, I believe, is slightly improved in terms of clarity and the actual image overall. There's more image of the Gamorrean Guard visible compared to the previous release, and I think there are a few other noticeable differences between the actual figure and accessories on the previous 2010 release. So from what I've seen, this figure's not quite as good as the past release, which is a bit of a shame, because so hopefully you know, you like to think that people are going forward with their product design, not backwards. But I think some of the weathering on the weapons and some of the detail around the eyes and that on the Gamorrean Guard is not as good as the past release. But I'm still quite pleased to get this figure. I do think it looks an awesome figure. So I've got a shot at the back of the card for you. So the top half of the card, we've got the Star Wars Racetrack Vintage Collection. And in this particular wave, we've got the Gamorrean Guard, Salt Murray or Yak Face, Klato's Skiff Guard, Princess Leia, Bouche, Scarif Trooper and the Range Trooper. Unfortunately, the bottom half of the card is a little bit of a mess, as I may have recently or previously said to you. So if you bear with me, we'll get this figure out of the card and have a better look at things regarding the figure. So I'll give you a closer look at this figure out of the package. I'll have a look at the weapons first for you. So we have his vibro staff here. So this, I must say, is a little bit wishy-washy in regards to the sort of the brown paint application on the sort of centerpiece or the handle of this. It's got little bits of silver coming through, but it just doesn't look quite one or the other really. It's quite nicely sculpted, got some quite nice detail on the end there, maybe not quite as sharp as it possibly could be, but maybe could benefit from a bit of weathering on the end of that as well. But you know, not too bad. So pop that down there. And then I'm quite pleased that this figure comes with two axes. So if you were army building, you do have a sort of a bit of choice as to how you display this particular figure. Onto the figure itself. On the whole, I'm very pleased with this figure. I do like the actual sculpt on this. I think it's got a super sculpt, and I particularly like how they've done the sculpt around the sort of eye area. There's sort of nice creases in the skin, and the sort of nice subtle brown paint application there and the teeth. It just, yeah, looks really good like it did in the movie. The helmet is removable. I think Hasbro are a little bit damned if they do and damned if they don't with regards to that. It is removable, but it does seem to fall off and on the figure quite a lot, so I've actually popped a bit of blue tack on that just to keep that in place while I shoot the video, as I noticed it did tend to sort of fall off quite easily. And then in terms of articulation, so the head, it's got limited up and down movement, side to side on that ball joint there. The body has a twist, but not a rocker, it's just a twist from side to side. The shoulders are swivel joint, the elbows are ball jointed and hinged, the wrists are swivel, and then the top of the legs is very stiff but a swivel joint, I believe, and then the knees ball jointed and hinged, and then the lower feet ball jointed and hinged as well there. The soft goods on this figure I've got mixed feelings towards. I think overall what they were trying to achieve is a good thing, but it just seems a touch too bulky. It sort of looks to me like a giant nappy, or looks to me like one of the windsocks that you might get on a microphone. Overall, I think it just sort of gets a little bit in the way of the detail of sort of the belt and strap work that this figure has. If you look under the figure, I don't know, I'm quite tempted to sort of take this soft goods off if I can and see what it looks like on display without that. So I may even pick up another figure and have a little bit of a play with that, maybe give it a trim, or maybe even take it off altogether. So might have a look at that, so you might see a custom version of this at some point in the future. But all in all, quite pleased with this figure. The axes themselves, I've heard people say, are not as good as the past release, the 2010 version, which is a bit of a shame really, because you like to think that people are going forward with design rather than backwards, but they're not too bad to me. It's good that you got the choice of the two anyway. So overall, I'd probably give that figure an 8 out of 10 if I had to sort of rate it. Always interested to hear your thoughts and comments, so let me know those below. And thanks for watching today, and see you next time. Thank you for watching my video today. If you'd really like to help support the channel, please give me a big thumbs up and leave a comment. This really does help grow the channel. Also in the description you'll see a link to my Redbubble page. Please consider visiting this for some cool merchandise. Anything you do buy will really go to help bring you exciting future content. Many thanks for watching.